raising backyard chickens can be very beneficial to you and your family. It can give the kids responsibility as well as provide food for yourself, whether it be meat or eggs. If you're looking at raising chickens, trying to save money on purchasing eggs, you might want to really put some dollars on paper and see if you're really saving money in that aspect. Okay, when you're looking at getting into raising backyard chickens or having a small backyard flock, you want to look at what your laws are, whether you have a homeowners association, what the city laws are, what the county laws are. Those range. It may be that you can only have so many. It may be that you can have as many as you want, just no roosters. So that's something that you really want to make for sure you talk with your homeowners association and talk with your city council, city government. If you do decide to go down this road and raise chickens in your backyard, make for sure you are a good neighbor. If you're allowed to have roosters and you have one, remember that they do make a lot of noise. Make for sure your neighbor's okay with this. Try to educate them and also keep your birds in your own yard. Nobody that doesn't like hens laying eggs all in their flower bed or scratching up their flower beds. So just be a good neighbor and keep in mind that your friendly neighbors next door may not understand your backyard flock. There are many different breeds of chickens to consider when looking at what you're going to have for your backyard flock. One thing to ask yourself is, do you want a white egg layer, do you want a brown egg layer, or do you want a blue egg layer? So those are some different things that we can look at. The white leghorns are really good white egg layers. They're kind of a little bit more of a flightier bird. We have our brown sex links, our Rhode Island Reds, Barred Rocks, that type of stuff that produce a brown egg and are kind of like a dual purpose type breed also. Then you have your Easter eggers, your Americanas, that type of stuff that if you really want a wide range of eggs, then you can get those blue-green type eggs. When you're working on building your hen house or your chicken coop, you want to think about what you already have. Do you already have a building that maybe you can turn into a hen house or a chicken coop, or are you starting from scratch? You need to think of kind of the numbers that you're wanting to have. How big of a hen house do you need to have? What type of ventilation, where are you going to put it? What's your climate looking like? Here in Middle Tennessee, we have cold winters, we have warm summers. So you want to have ventilation. You want to be able to open it up during the summertime to allow that air to pass through, but be able to close it up and still have a little ventilation during the winter time as well. As far as artificial lighting for your adult chickens, you will not necessarily need any artificial heat, artificial lighting, but you will need to be able to have enough space per chicken to where they can still spread out and they're not getting too overwhelmed and too overcrowded within that house. On our nest boxes, that's where our hens are going to lay our eggs at. We want to keep those clean, and we want to provide one nest box for every 4 hens. When I say you want to keep those clean, you want to replace that straw often to where it's not dirty. Nobody wants to collect dirty eggs that are covered in feces and that type of stuff, so we want to keep those clean, keep those hens happy and laying. So as far as your feeders and your waters, whenever you start looking at the feeders and the waters for chickens, you want to once again consider how many you're going to have and what kind of space you're going to need. Obviously, you don't want too small of a feeder if you have 20 birds, and you don't want too large of a feeder if you only have 1 or 2 where they're going to potentially spill it out or waste feed. It's going to sit there and maybe stale or mildew. Along with the feeders and waters, you also want to make for sure that you keep those clean. Obviously, you and I don't like to drink nasty water, so we want to make for sure that we're checking that on a daily basis and providing fresh, clean water and that's free of debris. Nobody likes to eat anything with trash in it. All right, so this is one example of a type of feeder that you can use. There's many, many different types of feeders out there. This is an example of a hanging feeder. As you can see, it has this hook on top, so you can actually hang it from a rafter, keep it up off the ground a little bit. That helps to keep the chickens from actually scratching debris and stuff into the feed. You can also see that it's actually divided up here. Once again, that helps keep them from getting down in the feed and scratching it all out. And once again, it is a hanging feeder, so it does hang from a rafter or something like that. All right, this is a smaller type water. This is what we call a gravity flow water. I have it, of course, apart right now. So what you would do to fill this water up is obviously you would fill the jar portion up here. You can dump this trough portion over on it. You screw it on, and then when you flip it, it's a gravity flow water. So that kind of provides them a continuous flow of water throughout the day. It does have a hole, one single hole right here on the side. We want to make for sure that that stays free of debris. These waters come in, as well as the feeders, come in different sizes, different shapes, different kinds. Obviously, if you have a large flock, this water isn't going to provide them much water throughout the day, so you would want to have a much larger water for them. This is not a bad size to start chicks out on. It gets them drinking. When you first get those chicks home, you can easily dip their beaks into the water to get them taking that first drink. Once again, they do make more hanging type waters and different styles, different sizes. You can also get them where you just buy this bottom piece here and actually put a mason jar on the top. They also have them where you can buy the bottom part here and just put like a 2-liter soda bottle on top as well. Once you have your chickens, you really want to focus on a biosecurity. That's how you keep your chickens healthy. I mean, anything can get sick, I'm not saying it can't, but by practicing good biosecurity, you can really help yourself and your family out as well as your birds. You want to make for sure you keep your feed in an airtight container to where you can keep stuff like rodents, any type of insects, that type of stuff from contaminating your feed. Also keep it from getting wet or moldy mildew. You want to have your hen house set up to where you can keep your predators out and stuff that might potentially bring in diseases to your birds. If you go and you look at birds at somebody else's place, you go into somebody else's flock, when you come home, don't walk directly into your hen house. Walk through a disinfectant type solution to disinfect your clothes, change clothes, have a different type of shoes, something like that. And as always, always wash your hands after handling your birds, cleaning out your hen house, that type of thing. For more information, you can contact myself, Kim Hall, at 615-898-7710.
For more information on the programs and services offered by the Ag Extension Office, visit their website or follow them on social media.